Hey everyone, welcome to Module 6. We are going to be going over it looks like behaviors and the learning aspect approach for personality this week. And I thought we would kind of dive into Module 6 here. Of course, go over your learning objectives and your read and review. One of the topics we're covering is the behavioral perspective in terms of how that's related to personality. So I'm sure you guys remember from Psych 101 or maybe from another course that you've taken in terms of like behaviorism and like conditioning and operant conditioning, classical conditioning, and how people are kind of conditioned to think or act a certain way. And of course, that's going to impact how their personality traits are kind of developed with that as well. So I kind of ask you guys, like, how does the behavioral perspective kind of fit in with personality? So this video kind of summarizes that, and it does a good job. So keep that in mind as you go on to your assignments for the week. You're going to have your discussion question and your chapter 6 quiz. So for your discussion question, when we click into this, of course, remember to respond by Thursday and post by Sunday. And use an APA source, of course. But I'm going to kind of review with you guys the differences between classical and operant conditioning within this chapter, just like we kind of went over in Psych 101. And the idea of if you're conditioned with associations in terms of learning, or with the operant conditioning in terms of like the reinforcements that you have, positive or negative, however that is. But in terms of looking at personality, like how does that relate? And of course, when we talk about operant conditioning, we always think of B.F. Skinner because he's the one that coined that operant conditioning. Of course, just use that information that you're reading through in your book and that you're looking through the video that I give you to answer these questions for your discussion. So I ask you, why do you believe that Skinner was so opposed to the idea of free will? And this topic is kind of more philosophical in the way, because you're thinking about free will as a whole in terms of how it relates to your choices, and not just a choice in like one aspect of your life, but really like your entire life and how that's going to impact your personality. So after you kind of review this video and you hear his opinions about free will, do you believe that free will really exists? And of course, you have to just explain why or why not. And then how does this idea of free will fit in with your understanding of personality? So if you maybe do believe in free will, how is that going to fit in with maybe some of your personality characteristics or other people's personality characteristics and how you're developed? And if you don't, again, how is that going to be relatable? All right. And then how does free will fit in with the possibility of being able to choose to make decisions in your life? And that could be, positive changes, negative changes, just kind of how that impacts your overall personality. Because if we don't believe that we have free will, then that might have an impact of what we choose to do or choose to want to try to strive to or achieve in our lives. All right. So just take that into account and answer those questions. Use an APA source, and you will be all set for Module 6. So just the discussion and the chapter quiz is all you have to do, and I will see you guys in Module 7.